Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. So maybe today we'll actually get some quests done. We need the mage to win, and the hunter. So let's play, I guess, as casual mage. I was playing a little bit ranked last night. Uh, Having a bout of insomnia, didn't have anything better to do. I started just playing Hearthstone, which is rather weird. I didn't want to get super enthralled or involved with a real game. Ooh, boy, is that an insult to throw at it. But I didn't want to play like Rogue Legacy, which I'm still sort of playing, or
The light shall bring victory.
You asked for it.
or Portal 2, which is what I'm replaying, or Portal 1, which is what I will replay eventually again, or Pac-Man, which is too fast-paced. Each of those games are too intense to be playing when you're technically trying to bore yourself to sleep. So, Hearthstone kind of works there. Sorta. Kinda. Although, you know, I hear it over and over again, and I fully agree with it for most people, but it just does not seem to work for me. The thought that you need to just turn off the TVs and turn off the screens and get the distractions far away from you. Because my ADD-like brain just doesn't want to do that. It wants those distractions, it wants those screens back on, it wants everything you could possibly do. Boy, do I need to have a spell at this rate.
You have been.
Well, I will take that fine and be happy with that, and we'll just play the next game, I guess. What really sucks for the Hearthstone deck tracker is that there's just so many people that have disconnection problems or whatever, and they just quit. And most, if not, it seems like over 50% at least of the victories I get are based on the other player's actions in some way. Either they play terribly on purpose, or they just play terribly, period, or they disconnect or concede. And so I'm not getting the kind of data for the Hearthstone deck tracker app as I would like. Speaking of the Hearthstone deck tracker app, somebody put as a note that for the overlay and chroma keying out the Hearthstone deck tracker overlay, that you need to have the similarity setting set to 0 or 1 to make it look as good as it looks in the video. The video that I made. The video that right in the middle of the video I set it to 10 because I was having I don't know if I explained that I was having trouble with having it so picky as being as 0 and 1, which so the chroma key is it takes the gray background away from the player window and takes that out and allows it to look almost as if the Hearthstone deck tracker is supposed to be in Hearthstone at all times. So somebody puts that note here, and I'm just like, why are you gonna make me just sit here and reaffirm something I've already said and disagree with it? Just go, no, actually, the truth is, it was always at 10. I've always had it at 10, and I'm still using it at 10, like 6 months since I've made that video. Similarity is still at 10. I'm like, why are you gonna do that to me? He even time linked it directly to where, if you look on the screen, it says the similarity is 10. So I said that, but I mean, I don't wanna be the well actually guy. And I've had to do it again today when somebody recaps really nicely and succinctly what I said about +1 was what I felt I said at least about. Let's go ahead and do that. So, well, if I killed this one, then it would be 3.
My apologies.
Never mind. So somebody really nicely recapped what I had to say about Kerbal Space Program and how the training levels are garbage and how it is not ready for prime time and how they should not have called it version 1.0 just so they could sell it on consoles and all that. And he recaps that and he says he uses the phrase it should have a ton more help and a ton more options, and he says ton
The gates are open.
like 2 times. Unfortunately, he spelled it T-O-N-E, which is tone. And so here I go again. Well, actually, you mean to use the word ton, T-O-N, not tone, T-O-N-E. T-O-N-E is a musical note, which isn't even exactly accurate, so somebody can come back and go, well, actually, you meant to say tone is a musical frequency, not a note, per se. And that's where this all ends up, and I don't know if I'm doing the voice very well or not. It sounds like I'm really, really doing it, and I'm like, sorry to beat that guy, but you mean ton. T-O-N. I don't want you to go through your whole life misspelling the word ton, which you've used twice in this 3 sentences. So it's coming from the nicest intentions possible. Don't hate me for correcting your spelling, but you misspelled it, and you should learn. And I want you to learn. Be embarrassed your entire life. So I was trying to be as nice as possible about that, but I may have irritated. There is a good percentage of people. I'd say it's almost a coin flip that I'll just get a big old FU reply from that. It's like. Because people don't like to be corrected, particularly, I feel, and this is probably just me, I don't feel like Americans like to be corrected. And adults in general don't like to be corrected. Nobody really likes to be corrected. Kids are constantly having to be corrected and they don't like it. Sure. Here we go. I should have killed this guy though. Oh, that was a mistake. So, and then I got 2 comments today. So, Plague Inc. Evolved went 100 episodes, and somebody on the 100th episode says, please make more of these.
My
and I'm like,
shield for
dude, really? I mean, I'm glad you're happy and all. And I hope you go back and watch all 100 of them. I don't feel like you have, because I see the views on all my videos, and I don't think anybody has gone back and watched from 0 to 100 on any of my series. But maybe he did, and I just didn't pay attention to it, because it is an old series. But it doesn't even really matter. I'm like, dude, I did 100 episodes of that already. I've got other games to cover. I can't spend the rest of my life just covering, I mean, I can't really do that. I can't just cover Plague Inc. Evolved over and over again. I covered every single bit of that. I played all of the unlocks, I think. I did all the scenarios. Multiplayer wasn't out when I covered it, but I couldn't do just a multiplayer thing. Unless I was going to replace my Hearthstone channel with that, and the views are not there for that, sorry. So I'm like, I'm glad you like me and all, but you're asking something that's kind of not feasible. It's not something I could do. Can't do that.
Into the breach.
But yeah, after I've done 100 episodes, you might. That's all you're gonna get for a long, long time. Maybe Plague Inc. will add an update that is effectively equivalent to doubling the amount of content in there. Maybe there would be something else that would catch my eye and make it a good reason why. But on itself, for no other reason, yeah, that just
knowledge is
can't
power,
happen.
and I.
Go ahead and kill this guy. So thanks for being a fan, but yeah, if I end the series, I end the series. The only one that I might consider is if, for instance, Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, maybe I would consider going back and making more footage of that. There was stuff I didn't cover there that I could, but usually if I'm making the decision to leave any footage on the cutting room floor, it's because it's repetitive and I've got so many other games. Otherwise, we would be doing Binding of Isaac just over and over again, like this whole channel started on. And
so, here's where you're wrong.
I certainly would, if I had no other games, or if I just had an infinite amount of free time, consider doing those things. But now it's not like that. It's 5-6 episodes every day. Every Monday through Friday is coming out. There's something happening always. Something needs to be recorded always. Let's see.
Running the program.
Here's where you're wrong.
So yeah, once I end it, very little is going to convince me to go back to it. Because I feel like I play pretty thoroughly. Or, in the case of something like
We're gonna be rich.
Supco. What was that game called? Nom Nom Galaxy. Yeah, that was it. In the case of like Nom Nom Galaxy, that is a game that irritated me to a level that
My
I wasn't
shield
willing
for
to
Argon.
play it anymore. So I don't see what could really happen if it convinced me. So I made a mistake there. I shouldn't have hit him. I should have hit him.
Running the program.
Here's where you're wrong.
So I don't know who could really talk me into playing Nom Nom Galaxy some more.
Is my
I played it pre-order, and now the pre-order is out. I think the real lesson I've learned from that is I shouldn't play games that are, what is the word? Not pre-order. Early access. Yeah. The lesson I should have learned from that, and I think I kind of learned from that, is not to do early access games.
So, here's where you're wrong.
With a breach.
And attack away. And Nom Nom Galaxy is about the only game I haven't really played. Spelunky didn't do a lot with that, just spotlighted like that. Never really played it much afterwards. I think, in a lot of ways, you might say Spelunky, I just didn't catch the wave. Keep on playing with the mage, I suppose. If we could get all the mage victories in one recording, that would be nice. Am I gonna have any time to record anything extra after this? Would be nice. The problem is just insomnia has been terrible. I've been staying up till 6, 7 in the morning.
Jaina versus
Every
Anduin.
freaking
The light shall bring
And
victory.
You asked for it.
because of all of that, it's just like I am trying to go to bed for 6, 7, 8 hours every day, and that's 6, 7, 8 hours that I am not recording, and I feel tired. The tiredness is there, and so I feel like I will do a bad job at recording if I was recording, but I'm still awake at the end of the day, and that sucks really bad. And honestly, when I was recording yesterday of Salmon Max, I didn't feel like I was doing the best. It has this weird echo that I don't know if that's something about window capture. I don't know if it's something about the program itself. The audio seems weird in itself, but definitely feeling this, hearing this echo, definitely not controlling it, and then I'm just sitting there and I'm not saying anything. And when I do You Don't Know Jack, it's kind of the same, and I need to do some more of You Don't Know Jack. I barely even got like the first month's worth of footages recorded. Let's see.
I serve the Fire Lord.
2 damage. Let's see. So hopefully you won't be able to kill this character. Nope, he is silenced immediately. Deal 4 damage, cost 1 less for each character that died. Here.
Flame on!
In return.
Not quite what was planned.
So yeah, both of those I feel like are just sitting there and barely saying anything. There's some weirdness with You Don't Know Jack is that we haven't found any more of those, of the extra, like secret questions, and it feels like, if I'm not certain that it is, that we will run through all the questions before it starts showing me some extra questions. Let's go ahead and do that. Just prepare it in case I kill those two. So I'm trying to, I really would like to exhaust all the questions in You Don't Know
Let me
Jack.
change your mind.
Volume 1 extra large. I assume Volume 2 might be a little bit shorter, but ideally what we're trying to go with something here. I guess I can kill all these. And then do this, and that will get it down to 3.
Not quite.
Deal 4 damage to the face for free. Hit enter. So if I get Volume 1 extra large done, and it's 2 or 3 months. If I get Volume 2, 3, 4, and then I think 5 was the online 6. Each one of those is only 2 months. We're talking at least a year there.
I serve the Fire Lord.
There we go.
Not quite what was planned.
I don't know if he's saying he's messing up my plans, or if he's saying his plans are messed up. I don't know. Doesn't really matter either way to me. I'm barely paying attention.
From the jungle.
Not quite what was planned.
Let's go ahead and squelch him though, just for my sanity.
Take this time
to consider your past deeds.
Professor Paltrow.
Behold the magnificent aerial command unit!
What a card, what a card. I'd have that in my deck. Always, just for craziness. Just for crazy reasons. I would play with this for a while. So yeah, when I think about like Plague Inc. and I was sitting there talking over all of those and having fun, thinking stupid names and joking around, there was some really like cool stuff that I can recognize that I did, and I pretty much just exhausted myself of all the cool things to think of. Did I talk about all the Game of the Year for Giant Bomb? I don't know. I don't know if I covered the last of it, but yeah, the last of it came out. And apparently none of them, nobody on the discussion panel at least, finished Witcher 3, and it seems like they gave Invisible Ink a top 10 slot because one specific person really loved that game, and they dropped, like, for their worst messes category, the Konami situation because it's not been verified, pretty much. And I guess you can kind of, I can almost see that as like, if Jim Sterling and a couple other people are just working to like send a story and send a message that Konami is just awful, which I have a hard time believing they aren't. But if it was just totally made up and Konami's only real mistake in that whole shebang was like not talking about it, yeah, you could kind of dismiss all of the things. But the problem with that, still my opinion, why I still feel like it should have been considered the worst messes of the year, is because they just didn't repudiate any of it. They just didn't come back and say, no, that's not true, no, that's not true, or at all. It's just ridiculous. So, was there anything else on there?
The spirits be restless.
I learned a few things this year about Game of the Year as far as Giant Bomb cast, and really there was no real Game of the Year for Escapist because I feel like Escapist is dying and I need some more video game podcasts and websites to come along and listen to. Mostly podcasts is what I'm looking for, but I still have plenty of things to waste time on. But I'd like some more diverse opinions and not just the same people.
I'm almost out of cards.
Oh, that would be funny if I could heal all of them.
Job done.
I'm out of cards.
So heal yourself and draw cards. That'd be nice. It'd be funny if he really does do something that like heals everything. So he heals them and then he draws 2 fatigue. Just to inspire for no reason. So is he screwing around with me or is he gonna take the victory? He's screwing around with me. Alright. Well, his screwing around with me is not going to solve anything, and he's just going to win. So let's go ahead and concede.
You win this time.
And move on with our lives. But as how game of the year end of last week of 2015 happened, it becomes blatantly apparent I needed to have played and stockpiled a lot more footage. If I had spent potentially all of December and maybe all of November uploading videos and not scheduling and getting them out. The exception this year would have been the Lego game, which I should have recorded many months in advance and didn't think about it. A lot of the content IDs are fortunately getting ignored and dropped now after the videos are out and all of that. So mostly alright, didn't totally ruin this thing, but there certainly were a couple videos that got reaffirmed as far as the music, and because it got reaffirmed, they still got to claim that they owned it for the time it came out. But I am gonna take the music out of that with the music review, remove program, and fix that for future views, which damages the video because then the music is messed up. And a lot of times I'm disconnected from Hearthstone. Alright, well, I guess that's as great as any other reason to end this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. Here you can really see where the Hearthstone deck tracker is not connected with Hearthstone at all. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.